So, June is not only Pride Month, but it's Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. What do they mean by that? I thought it was a joke. I thought someone was making fun of it, because people say, like, it's mental. It used to actually be considered a mental illness. I remember in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles role-playing game in the 1980s, even when things started to change, it remained a mental illness there in the rules. It's pretty crazy. I don't think it was TSR. I think it was like some other company that was doing it. I used to love those fucking games. But I couldn't get anyone to play anything but the D&D one. I got friends that were in D&D groups and shit, but I couldn't get anyone to do the Marvel one. But I love looking at it. I had the box and going inside it and stuff. It's cool. But yeah, so anyway, I've been having trouble with the mental health situation lately. Like this past, 6 or so months. Is it because of the 7-0? Possibly. But no, actually I noticed this. I was having weird symptoms after that. I occasionally have stuff like that happen. Like what happened? Hey, what's up, John? What's going on, man? Good to see you, brother.
All the spirits are out, bro.
All right, I hope so. I'm looking for him. Said all the spirits are out. He's that guy's cool. He lives in my building. So anyway, yeah, I've been having trouble with it. I've done a lot of videos about my mental health journey, as it were. And I'm one of those people that thinks it's all kind of a scam, as far as calling it something. And it's an industry, okay, that's used as part, it's a cog and a whole machine of other industries that all have their hands in someone else's pocket. You have like the pharmaceutical industry that's in the doctor's pocket, all the mental health clinicians and prescription writers, and there's a lot of money to be made around mental health. And back in the day, they used to just throw people in asylums, and there's been a lot of stuff about how that was a terrible thing. And I read some books about it. So for me, it's 100% settled science. But yeah, I read some books about it, that the history of mental health books, like how they used to treat it, various countries, and it was pretty fucking grim. A lot of times, families, well-to-do families, would use it to get rid of family members that were bothersome or they didn't want. See the Kennedys, and in some cases they had them. The family members, some were gaslit into thinking they were crazy, and they'd get the frontal lobotomies. So if they weren't fucked up before, they were fucked up after. They don't really do that too much anymore, the electroshock therapy. When I was in, the first time I was ever in, my roommate was one of the last people in the country to get this kind of electroshock therapy. He was the last patient to get it. I thought that was weird, because like, well, if they're doing away with it, why would this guy get it? We didn't have that conversation, but hang on, I'll be right back. Yeah, I don't know what it is or what triggered it off, but since I've been in Hawaii over the past decade, it's been, all my symptoms kind of calmed down. My freakouts became very minimal, and I think it was a couple things. The change in scenery, and spiritually there's just something that I'm in tune with here. I knew fairly quickly that it was the place I was supposed to be or needed to be, and events kind of rolled out that backed that up for me. But I've been pretty good with it. I've had a couple kind of major kind of crack ups. I mentioned them on on other episodes and stuff. The time I tanked a house wasn't a good idea. You can't really attack a house. hurt my knee really bad doing that. That was a Killing Joke related incident. I kind of blame them a little bit. I blame them in their 2003 self-titled album. The Death and Resurrection Show was the track that got in my head as I had my my mental breakdown. It wasn't like a mental breakdown. I guess you only have one of those. That's what they were telling me when I first went in. Is that you only have really one complete nervous breakdown. You can only have one. The rest are just like breakdowns of different kinds, you know? But they're not like, they're like aftershock kind of things. I don't know. Again, this is not an exact science, you know? The whole field is, it's kind of make-believe. You know, I mean, they can't hook you up to a machine to see exactly what your, you know, problem is. They can to some degree with the brain, they can see where some activity is for certain things, but, you know, they can't. The only way they have to diagnose stuff is observation and feedback from the patient. And that's it. You know, a lot of them are just doing guesswork. I just deja vu. The smell from that store gave me a Chinatown deja vu. I flashed back to prowling around down there at night. I had friends that used to live there, and I'd spend days there. At that time, when I was doing that, me was spending a lot of time with their mom, because I mean the reason we moved here was to help with her grandmother who had Alzheimer's. We didn't expect her to last very long, but 6 years later, she was still here, and by then I was really settled in. But yeah, I used to spend a lot of time down there. Speaking of mental health, there's a lot of crazies on there. But yeah, so lately, within the last, I don't know, I'm just gonna say year, I've been struggling with things like intrusive thoughts. Not so much voices, but I don't know how to explain it. Like, I end up dwelling on stuff. What used to happen to me when I would smoke plant medication, and still does. Whenever I smoke that now, I turn into the old guy that I used to make fun of. You know, I talk to older guys back then. I'm like, I can't smoke. It makes me, you know, paranoid. And I get depressed. And I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about, you know? And then it started happening to me. So I think it's just an age thing, you know? Just gonna let the crowd move. Oh, okay. I'm putting on a show for you guys, not anybody else. So, yeah, I don't know what the root of it is. I always think it's some kind of spiritual thing, because mainly I think spiritual health is mental health. It's very tied to it. And when I used to have, speaking of freakouts, when I used to have these freakouts, like these blackout kind of experiences, that was in relation to my dissociative disorder that I was diagnosed with in 2012. I got a paranoid schizophrenia, or just schizophrenia, I don't know what the fucking difference is, in 2008. In 2012 was the dissociative. With dissociative, a lot of times you don't remember what you were doing, you know, and a lot of times your perspective on things and your mood toward things, or your perspective, the fucking word so twice, I said it nice. Yeah, it's hold on a second, let me collect my thoughts, go in the store here and I'll be right back. I guess it would be described kind of as depression, what I'm kind of going through, what I have been going through. I've described them here before as like intrusive thoughts, but that seems like, you know, that makes it sound like someone's telling you to do something, and that's not what it is. Just thoughts about things that I don't really need to be spending my time thinking about. A lot of stuff about the past, or things, not even like significant stuff, just dumb shit, like choices I made. I've kind of gotten over that stuff a long time ago, so it's kind of strange that some of these things are coming back. Carl says I have to integrate my shadow self. He says I haven't done that. I don't know. I mean, I believe him. He's a smart man. But yeah, I don't know. And I've heard how to do that. I guess everyone should at some point. What it is, you're taking the bad parts of yourself that you try to keep from yourself and then accept them into you. What that looks like, I'm not really sure, but I have a lot of that stuff kind of going on as it is with the DID, you know. Despite what teenage girls will tell you on TikTok, it's not as fun. It's really embarrassing. And like, let me tell you, I'd be, for instance, for a example, I'd see someone at a store or something out in public that I hadn't seen in a while, and they might be avoiding me, you know, and I'd be like, I wonder why they're like that, you know. You know, but hey, how you doing? Like, greet them the same way I always would. And they're standoffish or, you know, oh hey, and they keep going. And I'm like, I wonder what happened there, you know. Well, turns out at some point I called them at midnight to borrow their car for some reason. I don't remember doing that, but they do. And the thing is, when I'm in the, I guess like altered states or whatever, I don't assign names and things like to these things, like personalities. I don't give it that much. I don't put that much work into it. A lot of times when you're in these other kind of aspects of your personality, these what's the word? What is that word? It's like defragmentation when you defrag your computer, but it's not that one. Help me. You can't help me. There's nothing you can do. But yeah, sometimes when I'm in those different zones, things seem to me to make perfect logical sense. Like I remember going to see a movie with Mia, and halfway through it, just hating it and being like, let's get out of here, and leaving. And I remember asking her about it later, like, we left the movies? She's like, yeah. You were like, this sucks, let's go. I'm like, why did I do that? I've only left the movie like maybe once or twice in my life, and it was because I was with my friends and something stupid was happening. Maybe only even once. I remember as a teenager at the movies, and we were watching Little Shop of Horrors, me and some of my friends, and we were just like, this is gay, let's get out of here, and we left. But yeah, so the thing is too, another thing that happens sometimes, like I'll get an email from someone or a text or something. Email's usually the more of the worrisome things, and I'll be like, wow, I haven't heard from this person in a long time. Hey, I wonder what they want. And then I'll look at the email, and they'll have an attachment of mine to them. Like I emailed them first, and it's when I read them, right? It's stuff. It sounds like me. You know, I've never wandered too far away from my regular alpha core, whatever the fuck they want to call it, regular being, default being. I kind of it's not too different, but it's also a little bit off kilter. Like I was saying about the calling people to borrow their car at 12 at night. I'd normally not do that. It's like, wow, I didn't call people at that time of night. Unless I'm in that, in that shifted perspective, which sucks. So, getting an email and them reading it seems like, oh, I emailed them. And it's, like I said, it's stuff that I might say, like it's not too far away, but it's also a lot of times just, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like why I would need to talk to them about this at this time. But I bet when I was operating in that personality, probably made a whole lot of sense, As a usual guy, I do not, like I said, call people after midnight. But I will do stuff outside my regular routine or thoughts, but that's about as extreme as it would get. Like, doing something like that. But in the past, I indulged in some, I don't know if indulge is the right word. I found myself in some more high-risk behaviors, like with drugs or women or things like that, seemed okay at the time to me. But, yeah, it's fucked up, man. It's a weird thing. But it's been held at bay for a while. I've done some deep dive videos on my experiences with that. I have a whole mental health playlist if you're interested in hearing about some of the stuff. It's kind of crazy. It just got me as funny when I saw that it was Mental Health Awareness Month and Pride Month. What do they mean by that? Isn't it like the Black Month too, like Juneteenth? Is that a black it's like a black holiday too. They're just trying to get everybody done June, I guess. I don't know. I'm gonna light this up. Sorry, all there is. I told someone who watches videos once that he was having some problems. He's going through some problems. He's thinking of going and talking to someone or admitting himself. You never want to do that. I wouldn't suggest, people always say, go get help, don't go get help. Because as soon as you reveal that you have these kind of thoughts or you possibly might be one of these kind of people, your life is over. Your life is over. There's a lot of things I can't do because of my mental health records. And there's a lot of things that I'm included with that I wouldn't want to be because of those same records. And once you break that seal, there's no putting that cap back in the toothpaste tube. It's over, and you're just a crazy from there on then. So if you can kind of handle your own stuff, within reason, if you feel like you're fucking about to self-delete or something, then of course, you gotta do what you gotta do. But if you can help it, you never want to run to them, because what they're gonna do is they don't know how to solve any of this shit either. They don't understand how to stop it. There's no cure for a lot of this stuff. Like, my condition is considered chronic. They can give you medication, and they love to give you medication, because if you're a patient that has a kind of extreme mental health issue like I do, you become like a rablat. A rablat? A rablat. You start talking backwards like that. You become a lab rat, and they're like, oh wow, I wanted to try this, or I wanted to try that, or like I was real popular when I'm in the Nut Hut. They have doctors that come in, students that trying to work on their, getting extra credit, so they go to the Nut Hut and talk to the nuts, and I'd see like a bunch of them every day. And if you talk to doctors during the day, it helps toward your good boy points. Everything when you're in the mental ward is you get points for doing things. Like if you get up in the morning and you go right to a group, that's a lot better than sleeping late. And the points will determine how soon you get out. Your insurance will also determine how soon you're out. Like if you have a problem with your insurance, you're out. So it goes to show it's not really about, helping people. It's about making money. Some of the clinicians there might want to. They might be into it. But yeah, if you had to get out, like if you really had to get out for whatever reason, just fuck with your insurance and they'll throw you right out. They'll get you out right away. There's only so long they let you stay before there's an extension. Like when you go in, at least this is my experience, they immediately you get 2 weeks. Like you can't sign yourself out. You gotta, I don't know if I should say that. In my situation, I couldn't sign myself out, but I had my family put me in. I think maybe if you go there if you put yourself in like it's not a psychiatric hold, psychic hold. Professor Charles Xavier. If you sign yourself in, I think it's easier to get yourself out. But if you were put in by the legal system or your family, you're not. You gotta wait at least 2 weeks and see all these people. Yeah, it's there's a lot to that whole experience and all the different experiences I've had throughout the years. And since it's Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, I'll try to do more stuff on it. Also 7-0 too, because I'm still battling that. And yeah, I don't know who's winning in that, you know. Well, 7-0 is winning as long as I can afford to do it, you know. And fortunately, you know, can always kind of swing it somehow, and that's, you know, that's a whole nother disaster that's happening. And I'm not too sure that they're not linked. In fact, I would almost bet they were. I got to start keeping some notes about that situation, about things I'm feeling and things aligned with the 7-0. I have to get a new board or an extra board, or just go full skits out and just in the back cave take all of the Batman crap down and just make the wall my board. You know, that is like that's advanced level schizoism. You know, when they come into the place and there's the wall is just the board with all the red string and the pictures and shit. But I don't know. Yeah, like all things, I'll monitor that. I monitor too many things. Until next time, though, thanks for dropping in. Don't see the moon. And until then, don't blame the teacher. Blame the school.